was sent to Europe. I was in the medics, and our job was to drive ambulances from the front lines back to the hospitals. We were part of General Patton's secret army. We all met on the German border, and it was part of the 9th Army, and nobody knew we even existed until we started attacking Germans on their own soil. And we went across Germany. It took 9 months to get across to the Elbe River, where we met the Russians. And it was kind of funny because the Russians were squeezing the Germans and we were squeezing them, and they don't want to give up to the Russians because they'd be sent to a Russian salt mine. And so they all came across the Elbe River to us. And I'm standing there, and all of a sudden these guys come across this bridge, and they've all got guns, and all I've got is a Red Cross armband. There were 15,000 of them.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't see you there.
the honcho said,
I didn't see you there,
"Where do we
Bob.
go?" And I said, "Put your guns in that little shed and go sit down." And it wasn't long before you couldn't find the shed because it was buried in guns. And you couldn't see the end of these guys spread out all over the field. Well, I claimed a little fame that 15,000 guys surrendered to me.
Oh my goodness.
Not true. The infantry was standing around taking sure that nobody acted up.
I had an interesting life from the very beginning because my father, who is there behind the camera, was a historian, and he taught history at Columbia University, and so we grew up and he wrote a lot of books, and so we grew up in a household where there was a lot of interest in public affairs as well as history. And my sister has just written an article about a trip that we made to Europe in 1938. And I was about 17, and she was 3.5 years younger. But she remembered that we were very conscious of the fact in 1938 that World War II was imminent, that we ran into troops in Europe, and on the ship on the way home there were many refugees who were getting out of Nazi Germany. And my father was really interested in what was going on in Germany, and he went to a rally in Nuremberg and heard Hitler speak, and he thought it was incredible that all the country would be enthralled to such a sort of crazy man. Then we went to Switzerland, which has always been a peaceful country, and we kind of forgot about the imminence of war. And in France, it seemed they were more in a mood to remember the First World War than they were about the coming war. In Britain, England, we stayed at a hotel outside London, and there was a man there who was an aviator who flew every day to Italy and back. And that seemed to me to be, the absolute peak of progress, to be flying around Europe. Something that was unusual, that we walked down a street in London, and we saw the very first television. It was broadcasting a live event